Greetings everybody from Terra here at D-Lab. This video is actually going to be a follow-up to the repair of the 1948 Ward's Airline record player that I did the other day for a friend. Okay, so there were several questions that came up in comments after I produced the video, and I thought this would be a good time to clarify some of these things. Okay? Number one, no, D-Lab is not going to switch gears and start repairing record players, okay? I've done it. Years ago, I used to work on bunches of them, okay? But these days, I pretty much do that as a favor, okay? I like doing the electronic portion, like the amplifier repair, but when it comes into the mechanics of it, you know, dried up lubricant, things of that sort, it's not my deal, okay? So this was just a fun project, but some of you brought up some things that I thought I should probably go into a little bit more detail on. And that's the function of this needle and cartridge system that I installed on the record player. Okay? Alright, so here is a 78 record, and here is that blank record that was recorded on the RCA system. Okay? Now I know you can't see too well, but if you look close, you'll see the grooves are much finer on the 78 versus this blank record. Alright? I've set up a microscope so you can see it even closer. So I've got the 78 record installed on the Ward's record player. Okay? I got my microscope looking at the needle and the actual grooves on that LP. Okay? So I have another camera over here. I'm going to record that and let you guys see close up of what's going on. Alright? Remember, the needle that I installed is a Newcomb. It's got 78 and then standard like 33 LP settings, right? So that's two different styles of needles, right? So if you envision a needle, got a nifty sketch here for you. The needle sits in those grooves, okay? And as the record plays, there's actually little etchings on the sides of the groove that deflects the needle back and forth. And that's how you get your sound, alright? So take a look at the other camera. I'll bring it up right now. You can see the needle on the 78 sitting in those grooves. And you see how the needle is sitting nice and tight in those grooves? That helps the needle to deflect properly and give you the audio output that you need to drive the cartridge and drive the amplifier. Okay? So as you observed in the previous video, it had a lot more volume on 78s than it did on the blank record. Now let me put the blank record on and take a look at this spacing, and I think you'll start to understand why we're not getting the same volume out of that recording media. Alright, now I've got that little Victor blank record installed. Alright, same deal. Fired up the other camera, so now you can take a look at the grooves on that record as compared to the 78. So I'm going to move it back and forth. Look at the spacing of those grooves. Okay? They're much wider. So what happens is when the needle goes in, back to my example here, when the needle goes into that groove, it's not able to deflect as much because there's not enough surface contact on the sides of the needle. Okay? That's why you don't get the same audio output. So what I was faced with is, do I buy an out-of-date cartridge that can't be supported and pray that it works, that has the proper size needle, just to play the blank records, or do I buy a cartridge that has a 78 needle, which you can buy, you know, currently on the market, and they can at least play 78s plus listen to those blanks the best possible, right? So if I flip this the other way around and just put in the stock cartridge, you can't play 78 records on it because that needle's too wide. So it wouldn't track properly at all. So what's the best trade-off? I think the best trade-off was put in a 78 type cartridge. You can enjoy 78 records, or you can listen to some of the history. It's just, you gotta listen a little closer. That's why I did it. hopefully this explanation will kind of set everybody's questions at ease. It's just the design, guys. I can't change the design. I had to fix it, did the best possible job I could. Some of you also brought up a different model number cartridge that's currently available for like 20 bucks. I think it was like the P53 or something like that. I would have had the same issue whether I used that cartridge or the Newcomb cartridge. Remember, the needle is the same. If it's a 78 needle, it's designed for 78 records, not these blank records. So I would have still had the original problem, okay? These record players, when they were not made to play those blanks. They were made to play pre-recorded 78 albums. I did incorporate a change that several of you suggested, and that was checking the weight of the arm and the pitch of the needle, okay? So there is a counterbalance spring back here, and I found that it wasn't even hooked up, all right? So I did adjust that, and if you look at the other camera angle here, you can see I adjusted the height of the needle so it tracks great on the record. So I had a few of you suggest why not incorporate a little preamp circuit to bring that signal up to where it was a little more legible. Well, the reason that won't work is the signal is not there to begin with, okay? When you play the standard 78, there's plenty of amplitude, but there's not enough amplitude coming off of that blank record, okay? Mainly because the cartridge is not being excited enough to provide the signal. So if I were to put a preamp in it, I would pretty much just amplify noise. The signal intensity would still be low, okay? The other problem is this thing is a hot chassis record player. There's no low voltage DC available, okay? So I would have to like custom construct a power supply just to run this little preamp circuit, okay? So it's really not feasible. Well, after adjusting the weight of the arm and the tracking of the needle, I actually got more output out of the record player. And now I can actually hear that 6-year-old girl in 1930 producing her audio track on that old RCA system. So I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. The family will be able to enjoy listening to her again, and then they can grab a stack of 78 records and live history. So D-Lab's going to take a mission accomplished.